The guys have been cutting more tracks on Andrew's new property. Like most capital cities in Australia, we have plenty of public riding lands within an hour's drive. But it's great to have new tracks all to ourselves, not worry about head-on collisions, and not have the rev heads chew up our tracks. Ben has cut some new tracks that go through some swampy areas, which suits us fine. A good chance to work on traction and avoid wheel spinning. So it's all the usual tricks. Keep the revs low, slip the clutch, keep the rear wheel weighted. And if the rear wheel is likely to dig a hole, use all those handy techniques for when the bike is stuck. The seat bounce, rocking the bike, and of course, if all else fails, just get off and push or lift the bike out. However, I am something of a closet greenie, and even on private property, it feels strange riding through swampy areas and these occasional bits of rainforest. In state forests or national parks, there would be big fines for this sort of riding. And I've seen the mess created there when guys have dug big trenches every time they get stuck. Then just keep creating new bog holes nearby as the old ones become unrideable.
Almost.
Over the past few years, I've chatted with a lot of riders about the environment. Some riders with a strong green streak have said I shouldn't be doing any hill climbs, even on private land. It causes erosion. And we should all be riding 4 strokes. They create far less emissions than 2 strokes, even though apparently 4 strokes are bad enough already. And then on the other extreme, you have guys who simply don't give a shit about anything or anyone. So unregistered bikes, deliberately riding in illegal areas, getting their kicks by getting bogged, then roosting their way to China. And of course, the obligatory loud exhausts and hitting the rev limiter when near any houses. You can spot these guys easily on social media. Any discussions about riding areas being closed, and they'll be yelling, "Fuck the greenies," and "the government ain't telling me when, where and how I can ride my dirt bike." And of course, these guys don't realise they are a huge part of the problem. And they would never, ever lift a finger to actually become part of any solution. Me? I'm somewhere in the middle. On a crowded planet, it makes sense to look after our remaining bits of green, but I think dirt bikes won't cause too much havoc if we ride responsibly. Of course, all this depends where you live too. In crowded Western Europe, there are entire countries that have no public land for dirt riders at all. Then other countries like Canada are 90% Crown land, and in many parts of the country, the only restriction is how far can you get on a tank of fuel. So where do you guys sit on the environmental fence? Are you a rabid greenie, or is all of this stuff a complete non-issue? What do you think could make a difference in the future, or is it not worth trying? I'm keen to see what everyone thinks, because I might put together a video or 2 looking at these topics. Maybe. It just depends on my overall apathy levels on any given day.